I'd like to clarify. I am not a professional or a doctor or a psychiatrist, as you can tell. But I am security. Your mind security. Yes, that's me. Me. Yeah. I'm that security, that filter, that I guess organizes that door, that decides which aspects comes forward. Yes, I do. I most of the times I do a very good job. I bust my ass. But sometimes you guys be drugging and drinking and eating foods you shouldn't be. Things that alters your mood, situations, people. It'll affect my performance. So you're wondering what's going on. Sometimes your aspects fly in and out. Some of them are really strong. I'll admit that, and sometimes they gang up on me. But it don't help when you guys be drinking and drugging and doing all that kind of stuff. But yeah, just call me security. I handle the aspects that pop in and out, and sometimes certain people can affect my performance too. I do get a little bit nervous, and yeah, and sometimes you guys be letting those really strong ass demons. You be building them up with your focus, and they be whooping my ass. So that too does affect how you act. That does, yes, yes. But even though I try to do my job, and see here, this is my mission statement. Let you know. No aspect, shadow, yin yang, positive, negative, feminine, masculine, woman, man, child, vagina, penis should be left behind. We're gonna be working on that. So my job can be way easier. It's a struggle because sometimes you gotta be fucking some shit up. You make my job really, really hard. And hopefully I can remember what I was gonna tell you because I was working on some aspects. They just give me so much trouble. Make things complicated, and you guys and your demons, you guys don't work on them. Okay, we're gonna talk about your aspects and your perspective on things is almost like having a set of glasses. And this is not a vagina with teeth and some butt cheeks. I looked at that. It just turned out this way. And the way I designed this, I wasn't about to get a dry erase board right now. So I put tape in. When I try to take it off, it stays. So I had to do it one time. But these circles, the big circles, should be a little different. And that's not a vagina with teeth. But the core here, right here, is actually your mind. And then the dot is the accumulation of everything. And what we're going to do is assign this side. This side is going to be spiritual, and this side is supposed to be psychology, but I put psychological. And we're just going to assign the color blue to the psychological and the spiritual red. But that's like different ways you can approach looking at your aspects. And you can come from a philosophical, religion, science, biology, aspect of light and dark, and you can have numerous circles, but we're just going to make it basic because then it looks hella crazy, and I wasn't going to use a lot of colors. And all these circles are your different, you have aspects. There's two circles, and then the inside is a black dot, and that is like your core perspective in relation to that aspect. And depending on how many aspects have broken off, you can have numerous. So this thing would be a full circle. So imagine that. So 3D, you would have lots of circles. And each circle would actually have its own color. So imagine that. This would look chaotic as hell. So depending on your aspects, and they interlock with other aspects. So you could imagine a 3D ball with tons of aspects and different sizes too, depending on the imbalances that you have within yourself. So we're going to make it easy and start with love. And then break it down even more. Oh, also, like everything is in motion. And you have to envision like this two circles, the red and blue, they're moving, spinning. And the spinning can make one color. Oh God, I gotta sneeze. Can make one color. And then also with the aspect of love, it's moving. So this could be red and this could be blue, making a color. And depending on these circles, one could be stronger than the other. So if you have like a stronger positive in relation to love, and that's red, the color that will be received in the center will be affected by the strength of these. What will affect the perspective. And then also linking within the aspect is what you think of yourself and what you think of outside of yourself, the other. And what ends up happening, you could have imbalances. You could have like a smaller positive influence and be more in the negative influence. And then you could think less of yourself and more of another person, and that'll affect the core color. So it'll be one of these rings, sets of rings, and of the numerous rings that will affect the color that's expressed in the middle. And that will be your mind, and that will be your perspective, the way you see things. And each aspect, there's two sets. They're opposite of each other. There's a polarity. And so if you have, say, you think negatively, one part of you wants a relationship, another part of you doesn't because of past trauma of relationships. If you're in a more of a negative aspect, that'll be stronger and it'll be more predominant, and that's how you will view things. It'll affect your main coloring in the center, your mind. But the thing is, because they're the polarity of the same thing, if you have issues in one part of the aspect, that means you have an issue on the other. So if you have issues with people outside of you, that means there's something you need to work on in the inside of you. And since these circles are spinning, moving, you can actually, depending on the situation, the moment, you can phase in and out. Going from a psychological view to a spiritual view, psychological view, spiritual view, that can happen along with other ways you look at things. But the thing is, what's most important is you start the work. Because since these cores are all linked, you could solve one core and end up solving like 3 or 4 other cores. And if you start over here from a spiritual point of view, eventually you're going to end up in the psychology point of view. So if you do the shadow work, how I state, getting to that part of you, that child part of you, not even dealing with the situation, you build like a rapport with that child part of you. You see yourself. Then it makes it more comfortable. From there, it's inevitable. You come over here. And what's to your benefit? Each way that you look at everything, the more, the better. You add more balanced hues. And from there, I'm going to talk about, it's like a set of glasses. But the glasses is like that type of film. I don't even know what it's called. I should have looked it up. But that type of film, like say it's a red film, that you only see the red words. You don't see other words. And so that's what it's like when you have the blue film and then you have the red film. But if your red perspective is more dominant, all you're going to see is the red words. You're going to be missing the blue information, which affects your core viewpoint, your mind, the way you see things. You're missing information. So it's more to your advantage having a balance of how you view things positively, negative, working with your aspects to bring balance here, and a balance of how you see yourself, well, what you consider more important, yourself, or what's outside of you. You need a balance of both. And also you do need a balance of your positive, how you view things positively or negatively. And if you could have it too positive, it could lead to things like scapegoating, not really dealing with the situation and just be like, if I think positive, no, you need a balance of both. And depending on also if you consider yourself more important or the other, if you consider yourself more important, you would be kind of like an asshole. But then if you consider the other more important, you'd be more like a people pleaser and you get taken advantage of. So you need a balance of all this, the positive and the negative, and then how you consider like what's more important, yourself or the other. You need a balance of both. And each part affects the core hue, the colors the words and the information that you will receive and process in your environment. So if like you're too positive, there's a chance that you won't see an ugly situation happen. You can give someone who's a piece of shit too many fucking chances because you're a positive person, so you can't see someone else in a negative state, which can be to your disadvantage. Or if you're negative, and I'm not talking about yin and yang, it's just being literally the positive and negative. But if you're more in the negative aspect, of course you're going to be more pessimistic, which will cause you to lose out on things. Not even trying, and then it leaves you in a lack mode or more in a survival mode, which is not healthy. And it could cause you to be an asshole too, where you think that you're not good enough, you have to sit there and take from other people. And then let me switch over here. I didn't practice this at all, but that's fine. I was too lazy. I wasn't about to get a driver raise them over. Okay. So your aspects will affect your perspective, how you view the world, and other people and yourself. And when you have a lot of aspects running around, and then the way you have your positive and negative, with one stronger than the other, and then one aspect is more dominant than the other, and you got to think it causes all these cores to run around, just tons of cores, distorting this view, distorting what's here. You're gonna have tons of cores everywhere, distorting the colors that you have, the way you see things. So you'll be missing information and only see the hues perspective that is dominant. So you need to expand your mind. Look at from different perspectives. And so you have equal color of your polarities. And then with the polarities having less aspects, there'll be less interference. So like glasses that can show you words in that color, but can't see other color or words, when you shift color or perspective enough to have a balance of a little of each, you can reach a perspective that allows you to see all other color perspective words by just expanding your knowledge, your mind, your thinking, not being closed-minded because it's to your detriment. At the same time, giving you a view of the whole picture. So with the different hues, a balance, you get more knowledge and information of the whole thing. It isn't one, basically being like one biased color. Your perspective defines what you see, how and what you process, and how you view yourself and others. Life, reality, which also defines how you experience and manifest your life in reality. So it goes along with the statement, why sometimes you can't see the writing on the wall when others can. It's because it's your perspective. So as security, I advise you to listen because I know better. I'm here. I'm always around. Your ass be running around trying to ignore shit, but you guys leave me with the dookie and all the perspectives just running around all cray. And then I had to deal with all the demons. That's how it works. You gotta understand. So you better listen and work on your inner self. Then it change your outer self. Yes, very good. Yeah. So again, remember, it's simple but complicated.